Hey everyone, it's Mian, and in this chapter we will create a wireframe showing a desktop view of the overview Laplace platform screen. Finally, we get to the step of creating our own interface. Again, we will start in our lovely Figma. Just like in the previous practical chapters, you have to first download the template, which is available in the description below. After opening the file, you will see the following predefined components. Of course, you can design your own components, but for wireframes it's not that important. We will focus on our own original pixel-perfect solution in high-fidelity prototyping in one of the next modules. For now, we will use those predefined libraries as it's more about designing the structure of the screen. Before we will start, I want to highlight that this library is called WireFigma, created by Tibor Lovas. It's an awesome library helping you to speed the wireframing process, so huge thanks to Tibor. You can download the full library in the community Figma files. All you have to do is to type WireFigma and duplicate for having your own copy of the library. I have also attached the sitemap that we have created in one of the previous chapters, because it might be really handy as we will compose the overview page, which will contain almost all the main navigation and other references to the other page, which we have in the sitemap. Another aspect determining content inside the overview page is the user story from our project brief. As a user, I want to see my portfolio performance, customizable watch list, trending opportunities, and trades history in one place called Overview. It's important to keep that information in your mind during the wireframing as well. Let's start with our own wireframing. The first step is to prepare a frame representing canvas where we will create the overview page wireframe. The cool thing is that we have already prepared this canvas here, so let's just drag and drop it below. The first component that we are supposed to design is the main navigation. About options where to put the main navigation you will learn in one of the next chapters within the UI Design Principles module. But the most common solution is to create a left panel containing destinations of the main navigation. Before we will add this panel, I would change the color of the canvas to light gray to visually differ the components and the background, because the panel will be probably white. So now what we have to do is to add a white rectangle. We have learned that we don't have to care about proportions of the elements or alignment in detail, so we will make the rectangle, for example, white like those two predefined columns. You can check on the sitemap that the main navigation contains 6 main destinations. To add them to the left panel, we will again use components from the library. Go to the drop-down menu section and choose this menu item with the plus icon. After putting it to the left navigation, we duplicate it 6 times to have all destinations at one place. At the top there should be an overview, which is actually the current page. The second is a portfolio with our hold stocks. Then a watch list for searching new opportunities, reports for summary of trades, gains, and so on. Taxes as a page where investors have all information according to responsibilities to government, and finally orders and trades list. I think that we can prioritize the orders and trades destinations above the taxes and reports. The cool shortcut of Figma is that if you select all the items, you will see those little dots, which enables you to rearrange positions of items very fast. So we will put it above the reports. We can change icons of the items as well, but for now it's not that important, so we will keep those pluses and change them in the high fidelity prototyping afterwards. We have lots of space still in the left panel. I think we can put there also the logo of Laplace. We don't have the proper Laplace logo and it's just a wireframe, so we can copy this image placeholder, make it a little bit smaller and put it in the left upper corner of the main navigation. Let's continue with other parts of the screen. If we take a look at the sitemap, we can see that the remaining mentioned destinations are Create New, which is the primary action button of the screen, Profile menu containing profile details, settings, currency manager, and so on, and then Notifications and the Help Center. Also, those pages are usually located on the top of the screen, and we will do it in the same way. So what we have to do is to add a white rectangle on the top of the screen, but it will be much lower. Let's do it, for example, 80 pixels high and it should cover the whole width of the screen. First, we can add the profile dropdown. This menu will be available after clicking on the profile picture of the logged in user, so in our case we can put this avatar icon from the library. After clicking on this icon, the user will see the drop-down menu containing profile detail, settings, currency manager, and logged out from cases when a user wants to leave the platform. The remaining is the notification icon and help center. To express those features, we should definitely use the specific icons. Let's take a look at the package called Table Icons, which is one of my most favorite icon libraries. I will provide much more tips on icon libraries in the chapter about icons, so don't worry, you will have many more options than table icons, but for now let's use them because the usage is really simple. So let's type notification and copy this bell icon. After clicking, the icon is automatically copied, so we can then just click back on the Figma canvas, paste the icon and put it next to the profile menu. We can increase the stroke width to 3 to make the icon bolder and corresponding with other elements in the screen. The same process we will do also for the help center, so let's choose an icon for this page. I'm wondering about an icon showing question mark or E like information because I think it might express the help center accurately. I will choose this icon with a question mark for now and copy it to the canvas. Like with the previous icon, I will increase the stroke width to 3 and put it next to the notifications. The very last thing from the sitemap is a primary button with a text Create New. This one should be quite easy as we can just choose the primary button in the library. I think that the button with the plus icon is perfect for it, so we are gonna copy and paste it next to the help center. And don't forget to change the text to Create New. I'm also thinking about another icon which is not in the sitemap, but it might be useful in the platform. I'm talking about a search icon enabling you to search for useful stuff inside the platform. I will again copy it from the Table Icons package and put it next to the help center and of course change stroke width to 3, just like with the previous icons. Don't forget that we are in the ideation phase, so the most important thing is to think outside the box and generate various ideas which you can evaluate later. For better communication of the position within the platform, I think we can add a text here. This text will include the current page name, so in this case it's an overview page, so we can type an overview and put it in the top panel. In the world of investing, every second is really important and might decide about the profit a lot. That's why I would put a time under the overview text. This time will serve also as an indicator showing if the data inside the platform are current or if a user has, for example, a problem with connection and so on. So let's copy and paste this text and make it just a little bit smaller to represent the hierarchy in a clear way. The basic structure of the platform is now ready, so we can go forward with the specific content of the overview page. This content is determined by the mentioned user story, which you can also find next to the sitemap. As a user, I want to see my portfolio performance, customizable watch list, trending opportunities, and trades history in one place called Overview. The most important section will be definitely portfolio performance. This section should cover most of the screen in my point of view. Anyway, I have an idea that I would put the watch list on the top and it will be composed like a slideshow of horizontal cards. Every card will represent a particular investment product, for example stock or particular cryptocurrency and so on. So let's create a small white rectangle which we will put at the top of the content screen. We can make the corner a little bit rounded, so let's set 16 to proper field. As we are creating the card of a stock, we should include an image containing the logo of the company. For this purpose, we can use, for example, this Figma icon from the library. And we can do it, of course, a little bit smaller. Then we should put the opportunity meter, which is based on AI technology mentioned in the project brief. The value could be from 0 to 100, so I think it might be good to use the circle, which expresses the percentage of this value. For creating this kind of circle, we will again use a predefined ellipse Figma tool. Let's make it a little bit bigger than a logo, then add a stroke with 2 pixels and we will remove the fill of the circle. To express, for example, 80%, what we have to do is to set this value to 100% and then this value to 80%. Then rotate the circle to have the start on the top and flip it horizontally to have the start in the right position. It should be in the same direction like clocks. What we should definitely include as well is an identification shortcut for the company which owns the market. Let's make it, for example, for Tesla. The shortcut of this stock is TSLA, so let's put it on the top, and below we can place the full name of the company, so just Tesla. Again, we will make it a little bit smaller to represent the hierarchy of those texts. What is missing is the price of the stock, which will be on the opposite side of those texts. The bigger one will be the price and smaller one will be the relative price change during this day. The style might be copied from the previous text. The values inside might be of course random, but try to keep them realistic, mainly the units. Don't forget to group the elements. We can make them as frame and duplicate them to have them across the whole width of the desktop. We don't have to care about spacing that much, but let's arrange it and make it a little bit smoother. Also, we should definitely add an icon for going through the cards, so I will move it a little bit to the right side to make room for those arrows. I will again simply copy icons from the tablericons.com. I will just type right and choose the simple right icon and put it to the canvas. For the second icon, I will just rotate it and put it on the left side. And now let's make the biggest part of the overview page. This section is called My Portfolio Performance. Create a white rectangle which will be much bigger than the current cards. This section should definitely contain the text showing the purpose of this card, so let's add the text and let's name it, for example, My Portfolio. As this card serves as a widget of the main portfolio page, we can also add an icon which will navigate the user to the full view of this widget. For now I will use the right arrow like in the previous component, but then in the high fidelity it will be probably changed. Under this section I will put the most important indicators of an investor's portfolio. Again, it will be an indicator including two text fields. The first text will be smaller and it will contain a description of the number below. Important indicator is definitely invested capital. That means all funds that a user has if he or she sells all positions immediately. So below we will put a little bit bigger text showing the random number in dollars. Then we can copy the text for the second indicator, which will be also in dollars, but the amount might be a little bit lower and the description will be renamed to absolute change. This indicator expresses the value which is gained from change of the stock's prices. Then we should also add the relative change, which is the same indicator as the previous one but in percentages. The fourth indicator will be the daily P&L, which means absolutely change just for this day. And finally, the last indicator will be cash, which shows how much funds the user has available for investing just now. Below these indicators will be a large graph. I think that it will be a line graph showing the performance of my portfolio. That means it will show the indicators above in a time frame. To show the graph as a wireframe, we will use this placeholder for images for now. For this graph, it will be important to have two dropdowns. First dropdown will show the particle indicator which we show in the graph. Now we can choose the dropdown from the predefined components and put it above the chart. Let's type, for example, invested capital as the most important indicator. The other options will be then other indicators in the row, so cash and so on. We can make it a little bit smaller as it looks right now with this large text. Yeah, and the second dropdown will be a time period. We can set, for example, 7 days. Under the graph, I will add one more section containing top 3 positions in the investor's portfolio. I will reuse the component from the top section, but I will rearrange the text inside and also change color to light gray to differ it again from the background. So the logo will stay same. Upper text will contain the code of the investment product, but I will change position of those two texts, so every line will have one bigger and one smaller text. The content inside the text might stay same. We will just make this value higher and percentages in positive values, as it doesn't make sense having percentages below 0. We should also add a smaller text and type top 3 positions to have a heading for the section. The last sections will be the trending opportunities and orders and trades history. Those sections will be again 2 cards in the remaining place on the right side. Let's start with the trending opportunities. Add the text with the name of the section. We can copy the text from my portfolio section and type trending. The same is for the right icon, which might be copied as well. Also, the content inside the section is corresponding with the watchlist section above, because it's containing the same stuff. Just in the upper part we see investment products that we have chosen in the watchlist section, and in this one called trading we can see top 3 trending products on the market in a proper day. So all we have to do is to copy this card. We will remove the rectangle behind and copy it 3 times and align within the card. And finally, the really last section is called Trades History. So again, copy the title of the section and type Trades History. For this section we can again copy the logo with the circle, but I would a little bit rearrange the text again because we need to see a new information there. What we can keep is the first 2 texts describing the particular product which was purchased or sold. But where we had the price of the single unit, I would put the total price / how many units we bought or sold. And under this text I would include the text if the trade was accepted or if it is still pending and so on. I'm gonna again duplicate it to have 3 items in the list. And that's it, our first wireframe is ready. I hope that everything was clear enough. I know that it is a little bit specific platform which requires some knowledge of those platforms, but I think it's extremely interesting and better to show you more on complex platforms like this one than doing some simple websites. This chapter was more exacting, so take a break, think about the stuff that we did, try it on your canvas, and don't forget to complete the quiz, and see you soon.